Welcome back to our lounge room. Just wanted to share a word with you, and hopefully it's the encouragement to you out there. And it revolves around, Renee, about a conversation that you've been having with your friend from Sydney.
So I have a friend in Sydney. She's actually the one that led me to the Lord when I was 14. She's also my age. We were at school together at the time, and now we have just stayed really close friends, and we spend a lot of time chatting. And she, over the last little while, has been hearing the word upper room, and so she's prayed into that a fair bit and been unpacking that, and I've just had the privilege of talking through that with her. And some of the stuff that she had to share, we just felt that we wanted to share with you guys because we felt it was really timely and a word for the season.
And we've just kind of taken a time of communion, which is where Jesus instigated communion in the first place, was in the upper room with his disciples. And part of it revolves around the ministry of Jesus when he came to earth and walked around the area of Galilee and Judea, and people came to Jesus.
Jesus was a place that people could go to. They went to Jesus for healing. They went to Jesus for words of instruction. And where else shall I go? You have the words of life. And so people would go to Jesus, and the disciples were with Jesus all the time. And then Jesus died. They lost him, and they were like, oh. And then he came back. And they had him back again, and they got to spend time with him, and he was face to face with them, and he was teaching them. And then they were in the upper room, and he left again when he ascended to heaven, and they were left, and all he had said to them was wait, I have to go. But you wait, because if I don't go, I can't send the Comforter.
Yeah. And I just want to bring a couple of scriptures to you. The first one, that very reference, is in John 16. He says, "But I tell you the truth, it is for your good that I am going away. Unless I go away, the Counselor will not come to you. But if I go, I will send him to you." And from Luke in the book of Acts, in Acts 1 from verse 4, "Do not leave Jerusalem, but wait for the gift my Father promised, which you have heard me speak about. For John baptized with water, but in a few days you will be baptized with the Holy Spirit." And then he said, "It's not for you to know the times or the dates the Father has set, but you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you, and you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem and in Judea and Samaria and to the ends of the earth." And this whole plan of Jesus and the Father was for Jesus to do the work that he needed to do to save the world of their sin, but then to go back to the Father so that the Spirit could be sent. It's no longer people coming to the physical man Jesus, because he's not here on earth anymore. It's actually the Holy Spirit's role to fill every believer. And just to share an observation, that for so long in the Western church, where we've had our main corporate gatherings, it's felt like it's about going to church. Going to church to get our needs met, to get our healing, or to get our worship fix, or to get our teaching. But actually Jesus, in promising the Holy Spirit, said he will be your teacher. Now he will be your counselor. Yeah. And he also promised that he won't speak on his own, but he will speak what he hears from the Father and from me.
And so all of a sudden the disciples were left on their own going, what's next? After all of that amazing stuff, all of a sudden Jesus was gone, and they were left in the upper room. And our last 3 weeks, particularly at Flame Tree, was so amazing. And then all of a sudden we're left going, what now? Like, it's almost like all of that has been stripped away. And so the disciples had Jesus, that physical presence of Jesus was taken from them, and they were left wondering what's next, knowing he'd promised something, and we know he's promised something. And so this is kind of like almost an upper room moment for us. We're sitting in the upper room and we're waiting, but we know that what's coming, what came after that time of waiting in the upper room, was so rich and so much better and so much face to face, not just face to face with Jesus when they were with him, but face to face with the Holy Spirit all the time. And that's what we have now. And now we can't go to church to get our needs met or surround ourselves with people who are meeting our needs. All we're left with is the Holy Spirit and the promise of what is to come after this.
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of like...
It's a Kairos moment.
Yeah.
It's definitely a Kairos moment. And it feels like, with everything stripped away, that God is preparing new wineskins in order for him to pour out new wine into it. And we're just on the edge of our seats, hey? And you guys are on the edge of your seats as well, waiting, watching, and just being attentive. And
After the Holy Spirit came and they left the upper room, everything looked different. What they were used to, everything looking like, their life, their church, everything was different.
Yep.
And for us, at the end of this, everything's going to be different.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a good different. And this, I'm excited. Like, I feel like this is going to be a good different for us.
Don't be hankering for the way things used to be. Perhaps the saddest thing would be that if everything kind of just settles back down with this coronavirus and we go back to going to church, we've missed the point. So this is an opportunity. And
not that going to church is bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. And being together is amazing. And we want to be together. We're not saying that.
Yeah.
We're just saying it's got to look different.
It's going to be
and
amazing
it's going
when
to be
we do
amazing.
get together. Yeah. The focus won't be on just to get our needs met. It'll be the fact that the Holy Spirit is within us and living in us 24/7. And we get to truly be the church, not just go to church, as good as that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. It's nothing new. You guys have heard this before, but we just felt like it was a timely thing to refresh us and to just to encourage us in that journey.
Bless you.
Bless you guys.